first thing I noticed about Ed, his smile.
His hugs. Didn't matter if he saw you 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, 5 years ago. As soon as he saw you, he'd just open his arms, give you a big hug, and just made you feel safe.
I miss his hugs. I miss his smile and his laugh.
Of course, I love his hugs, but I love Eddie's laugh. If Eddie has a deep belly laugh, you know it was funny. So, yeah.
Ed gave me the confidence again to get back up on stage, and he was always so encouraging and so supportive and so loving when he had corrections to make.
By just teaching me to be someone that is open to loving myself.
He'll be doing something, he'll pull you aside and give you a hug, and just as he's sitting there hugging you, he'll give me all these uplifting talks and tell me how much he loves me and how glad he is for me to be up here during the summers.
On Friday, August 28th, my uncle Ed Davis passed away. He was one of 3 people in my life that led me to meet my wife, Denise. He had a tremendous impact on Garden Valley and to the thousands of people that he's met through his entire life. This past weekend, Denise and I had the opportunity to go to Garden Valley and shoot this documentary about him. We hope we can do justice to the man that he was and capture some of that impact that he has had. So let's get going to Starlight.
All right, is it rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my favorite story with Ed was when we were doing Sugar, and I was playing Sue, and Ed was one of the old men. We had both decided individually to prank each other that night without telling each other, anybody else. So we had just both decided we were going to surprise kiss each other on stage. So I marched up there, but he was already ready, and he dipped me and he kissed me on stage, and it just happened to be the most perfectly coordinated prank ever.
Probably the time that we were rafting, and he swore up and down that his boat was going to be the safe boat. That was the one that wasn't going to go into any crazy rapids. We were going to skirt most of the really, really dangerous stuff, and we flipped. It was right in the middle of the hole, and I got sucked under. And I was held there for about 8 seconds, which feels like an eternity. And I got out, was kind of shot out, and about 1/5 of a mile down the river, we finally got everyone back into the boat. Everyone was screaming at Ed because his was supposed to be the easy boat. The thing that he said was, pardon the language, shit happens, have fun. And I was like, nice.
I'm fortunate that I'm one of the lucky ones that get to say I have a ton of stories that are favorites with Ed just because I've been blessed to know their family for almost 25 years. But I would have to say what has been coming to my mind lately was our opening night of Joseph, the first season. We were so excited and getting ready for the show to start. It started to rain coming from Georgia where it rains. Once it starts to rain, you're out for the day. And I was just thinking, oh no, this is terrible. It's gonna rain, we're not gonna be able to do the show. And I was panicking, and he just said, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And so we invited the audience to come backstage, and we're talking to them backstage, and Ed was telling them about how things work and talking to them about the props. And he was just involving them so much and just making them feel comfortable while we waited. And before we knew it, the storm passed over, and a beautiful rainbow came right here behind this part of the theater, and it just covered from one side all the way over the stage to the other. And it was just felt like it was meant to be, like it was Heavenly Father's blessing saying, the show will go on. We went out and dried all the seats and got the audience back in their seats. I'll just never forget that Ed just never sweated the small stuff. He never worried about the little things. He just always saw the big picture. And he saw that in each one of us, and he saw that for what this theater could be, and he saw it for what this theater was going to mean, not only to his family and friends, but to the community and to young actors as a whole, what it would mean for them to be able to hone their craft. And so I just will always appreciate that memory of the rainbow after the rain.
Ed's impact went from California to Georgia to Texas to New York. He was a dream follower, a mentor, a lover, but most of all, he was a father. Not only to his many children, but a father figure to many, many more, including my wife.
Impacted my life as one of the best mentors I ever had. That memory of what he saw in me and what he expected out of me still drives choices that I make. He was always wanting more from me, but always very kind in how he would pull that out as any good mentor does.
Never really had a dad growing up. I've had people who said that they were my father, but nobody who treated me like an actual daughter. He took me in and made me one of his own. Took me on a couple daddy-daughter dates because I didn't know those were an actual thing. I thought it was just movies. He gave me a family when I needed one. So
Ed's a second father for me, Ed, like so many. He filled a void in my life that I had because I had lost my own father 4 years prior to meeting the Davis family. He was always that fatherly hug or advice, best friend, big brother, just mentor. He's a part of everyday thoughts. He's a part of how I want to interact with my family. And I know there's a lot of great reunions going on in heaven with Ed getting to see Lindy and Tyler Marie and his father and so many other loved ones. But I really take comfort in my own father getting to meet Ed someday in heaven. And I picture my dad telling Ed, thank you for looking out for me all these years.
Eddie very quickly became a father figure in my life. You know, going through some things, he just filled a place in my heart and made me feel welcome and loved, and I just happened to fit right in, and I'm very, very thankful for him.
Jan, Ed's wife, put it best. If you had a big heart, then Eddie wanted you in his life. Last Thursday was his celebration of life. And it truly was a celebration. They told stories, and we all laughed, and we all cried, and we remembered Ed. We'll continue to remember him, and look forward to the future. Starlight will go on, but always remember to
follow the bend in the river. Get where you're going to be. Follow the wind in the valley, over the hills to Boise. Only the heavens to guide you, yonder wherever you roam. But if you follow your star, follow your star.